We all see the public story of a great company, the brilliant founder, the product that changes everything. But the real story, the one that actually decides if a company wins or loses, it's usually invisible. It's kind of like a secret engine running the whole show. And today, we're going to pop the hood and take a look. Okay, so let's take a company we all think we know, right? Apple. We see the iPhone, we see the slick design, the genius marketing. But what if I told you their most powerful weapon isn't something you can buy in a store? It's this invisible force you will never, ever see at a product launch. See, the secret isn't really in the what, the products themselves. It's in the how. It's in the operational blueprint that guides every single move they make. This is the real foundation of their entire empire. So let's break down that blueprint. First up, the Apple blueprint, where we can see this whole idea in action. And here it is. This is the powerhouse behind the powerhouse. At its absolute core, Apple's dominance isn't just built on beautiful design or clever code. It's built on a foundation of world-class financial management. This is the secret engine. So what does that actually look like in the real world? Well, it means their financial teams aren't just bean counters. No way. They are strategists. They oversee a massive war chest of cash, which gives them incredible power. They're the ones who decide which long-shot R&D projects get the green light. And they make sure that no matter what crazy thing happens in the market, Apple has the money to not just get through it, but to come out on top. It's all about turning money into a strategic weapon. Okay, so Apple is the perfect case study, but this secret engine we're talking about, it has a name. So in this next section, we're going to move beyond the example and really define what this discipline is all about. Let's go beyond bookkeeping. So here's the official definition. Financial management is the discipline of planning, organizing, and controlling an organization's financial resources to achieve its objectives. Now, I know it sounds a little bit like a textbook, but as we just saw with Apple, mastering this is what separates the good companies from the truly legendary ones. And this is the part you really have to get. Accounting is about looking backward. It's like keeping score for a game that's already been played. Financial management, on the other hand, is all about looking forward. It's about taking your money and putting it to work, making every single dollar a soldier fighting for your company's future. And the goals here are actually pretty straightforward. First, liquidity. Do you have enough cash on hand to pay your bills today? Second, profitability. Are you earning more than you're spending? And third, growth. Are you investing that profit to make sure you're still in the game tomorrow? It's a constant, vital cycle. Okay, so we've got the definition, we've got the goals, but who's actually doing all this? Let's dive into the how in Section 3, the Manager's Playbook. A great financial manager is like a master strategist playing 4 different roles at once. First, they're the analyst, digging into the data to see exactly where things stand today. Then they become a bit of a fortune teller, forecasting what's likely to happen next. Based on that forecast, they become the investor, deciding where to place the big bets. And finally, they're the guardian, protecting the company from any financial storm clouds on the horizon. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. This entire job really just boils down to one thing: a high-stakes, constant balancing act between 2 powerful, competing forces. On one side of the scale, you have all the urgent stuff for today, making payroll, paying the rent, keeping the lights on. But on the other side, you've got the huge goals for tomorrow, funding that game-changing innovation, expanding into a new country. A great financial manager doesn't just struggle with this balance, they master it. And when a company masters that balance, something incredible happens. It doesn't just survive, it ignites. Our final section shows how this discipline becomes Section 4, the engine of growth. And this is really the ultimate takeaway. When it's done right, financial management stops being just another department in the company. It becomes the very engine that powers everything forward, not just for this quarter, but for years and years to come. So what's the whole point of this engine? Well, it's pretty simple: to generate value for shareholders and sustain business development. In other words, it's about making sure the company doesn't just survive, but truly thrives for the long haul. If you remember just one thing from this explainer, let it be this: strong financial management is basically the alchemy of business. It's the process that transforms raw resources into real, tangible results. It turns a leader's big vision into actual, measurable value. And this brings it all back to you, doesn't it? Because these principles are the same whether you're running Apple or a tiny startup or even just managing your own career. The question is, how are you balancing what you need right now with where you want to go? How are you managing your own resources to fuel not just today, but your vision for tomorrow?